Peace, y'all, and welcome back to another tea time. You already know the vibes, divine destiny. What you sipping on? I'm actually sipping on tea today. Okay. Y'all know me. I've been on that coffee tip for a while, but I was running errands earlier and I hit a Red Bull, so like there's a caffeine cap. So I'm drinking Damiana tea to keep my nervous system in check because caffeine and the body don't necessarily go together, but me and caffeine go together real bad. Anyway, grab your tea, grab your snack, grab your water, grab whatever it is that you need to vibe with me today so we can jump into today's tea time. So I was on the threads earlier this week and someone presented the topic of like the advice that you got in life that was like toxic in a way. And that's where I'm feeding this off of because my answer was it's not what you answer to. No, it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to, which also translates into like being the bigger person and like, turning the other cheek. All of those. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, I just feel like it breeds people pleaser energy. You know what I mean? You turn the other cheek or you be the bigger person so that you can avoid conflict. But sometimes, like, there's a such thing as healthy conflict. And if you don't choose to engage in those moments where healthy conflict is necessary so people know that you ain't the one or the two, they start treating you like the three. Do you feel me? Like, and no, I just don't feel like that breeds success, if you ask me. And I can think of this in like my own personal life. The first time I internalized that energy was I was couldn't have been more than like 8 or 9. And if you are Black in America, we all have one of these stories, and Spirit led me into sharing mine. And it was the first time that like I had been called the N word. I was like 8 or 9, and I will never forget. My mother had lupus. And so we were constantly like in and out of the doctor's office. And this one specific time, it was like she was checking in, and back in the day, I don't know, Kaiser's don't really, I don't know if Kaiser's got this or not these days, but like back in the day, they used to have like this whole like play area that you would like go play in as a kid, right? And they had like different like toys that you could play with while your parents were doing parent adult things at the doctor's office. And so my mom was checking in and I asked her if I could go play in the play area. She said yes. So here I am playing the play area by myself, happy and cheery and minding my business. And this little girl came up to me. And she was just like, she could have left me the hell alone, okay? Because what the hell? I was minding my business. So she walked up to me and was just like, my parents said I can't play with you because you're a Nick. So now I'm confused because I didn't even ask you to play. And two, I also didn't ask what your parents said. So I was just really confused, but also my feelings was hurt because I was a really sensitive kid. Okay. So I went to my mom who was standing in line to check in and I told her what happened. And I do not fault my mom for this at all. As I said, you know what I'm saying? We were in and out of doctor's offices all the time. That was not the first doctor's visit we had made probably that day. You know what I'm saying? Like we were on to the next visit. And, as a mom who's got things going on, your own shit, you also, try to handle situations the best you possibly can. But her response to me was, well, we just don't have to play with her. You know what I'm saying? Like you go back over there and you play because you were minding your business, but you can go play in a different area than her, right? Which is what I did ultimately. I just personally feel like I internalized that scenario very deeply that like even if my feelings are hurt, I should just be the bigger person and go about my day and do what I need to do for me. Right? I'll go cry about it later. You won't see it, but I'll go cry about it later. But I'm just gonna go do me regardless, right? And I think I took on that mentality like for a long time in my life, which led me to um end up with some people pleaser tendencies, right? It was more so like it started off as like, I'm gonna just go over here, but then it was, when you get older and you start dealing with people who have their own brain and they're not 8 or 9, now you're like in your teens and your young 20s and you're dealing with people and they realize that you are the turn the other cheek, bigger person ass person, then they get to feeling themselves a little bit and they get to trying to push those boundaries and see just how much of the other cheek you're willing to turn, right? Which is what I found myself dealing with, and it taught me a lot of patience personally because I turned the other cheek a lot. But I personally think now looking back on it, the idea of turning the other cheek, being a bigger person, is not what they call you. It's what you answer to. Is like, no, push it. If you ask me, I think the thing would be better said. They can say what they want, and it's not what they call you. It is what you answer to. But also, in response to what they call you, you don't have to answer to what they call you, but you can respond and let them know we not calling me that no more. You know what I'm saying? Let them know I don't identify as that, and I don't know who you thought you was talking to, but it ain't me. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not what you say, it's how you say it. So I don't have to, like I said, healthy conflict. So I can let you know that you have crossed the line, a boundary. You have disrespected me in some way, shape, or form without being ignorant or irate or aggressive. I can remain at this tone. I can remain within myself. I don't have to step outside of myself to let you know that you just disrespected me and that is not okay. Right? That takes me back to, I don't know which tea time it was. Couldn't even name it if I had to, but the one we were discussing, like, it's spiritual contracts to this shit, right? And so like if you don't dispel the energy that people try to place on you, then you're accepting it within yourself ultimately, right? And the same thing goes with like when people give that kind of energy. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like at the end of the day, in that situation, that little girl is around a whole bunch of hate and it was just like energy vomit. Like she saw an outlet of an outlet of light because I've always been I always been me, okay, like I've always been that big and stuff. So you know what I'm saying. I feel like she saw the outlet to release some of that energy off of herself, and so she took that moment. She took that opportunity. Everything in spirit, and even little kids. You know what I'm saying? Even little kids can pick up spiritual entities, energies, especially if that is what is being fed into them from their household. Like she said, her parents told her she couldn't play with me because I was black. Right? Which means she's constantly hearing this and being fed this energy, so much so to where she felt the need to come up to me and let me know what her parents said. Like she needed to offload the hate and the negative and the ugly energy that is constantly being offloaded to her. So with that being said, unfortunately, 8-year old, 9-year old me received that negative energy because I didn't know how to dispel it. Right? Because the thing about the energy is like this is an energy exchange. Should I choose to receive the energy that you just put down on the table? And if I choose not to and let you sit with that energy, it is still yours. But when you accept those energies or like you allow people to call you what they call you, or you just choose to turn the other cheek or be the bigger person, 9 times out of 10 you're internalizing that energy because you didn't say anything. Even if it's just within yourself, within your own spirit, you like, spirit, that don't even, you know what I'm saying? If you choose not to be confrontational, if you choose not to go the say something and let them know they disrespected you kind of energy, though, I do advocate for that. Okay, I do advocate for the throat chakra. It's real powerful stuff in there. But if that's not the energy you're on and you're just spelling it within yourself, you know what I'm saying? You're just like, that's not even me, that's not even my spirit, that energy does not belong to me, they can keep it type stuff within yourself. Still, you're doing something to block off whatever energy they just literally try to projectile vomit on you. Word vomit, energy vomit, it's the real thing. Shout out Mean Girls. Okay. I feel like we have to know how to protect ourselves from taking on 11:44 on my timer, taking on the energies that are not our own, right? And I think the concept of turning the other cheek or being the bigger person, or it's not what they call you, it's what you answer to, can be, I won't say toxic, but I will say detrimental, because there is a time and a place, right? And there is a place when, like, you should probably turn the other cheek and move forward, because it ain't the time for that. You know what I'm saying? Um, but also, I think it could be detrimental in if 12:21 on my timer reflecting images, because there's two sides to everything, right? And so I think it can be detrimental if that is what you internalize to be your truth all the time. If you internalize, oh, I'm just going to be the bigger person and turn the other cheek all the time, then that is going to put you in a people pleaser mentality. It's almost like they almost go hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like, even if you're not a people pleaser, that's how people are going to perceive you, because they feel like they can say or do whatever, overstep in whatever way, and you're just going to turn the other cheek. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that comes with that throat chakra. It's very important to utilize your own throat chakra, your own vocal energy, to correct, to dispel, to relinquish, to repel whatever energy it is that people are trying to throw on you, whether subconscious or consciously. Because that little girl didn't know that she was she wasn't conscious in the fact that, like, I'm coming over here to project this negativity onto this other little girl that will never know again. You know what I'm saying? She didn't consciously know that, but still, if I would have been better equipped with the tools to repel that energy and to dispel that energy, I wouldn't have picked it up for so long. And I carried that energy within myself for a very long time. And regardless if you're 8 or 9, or you were 8 or 9 and these situations happen, I feel like at any age, at any point in your life, you can find yourself being the people pleaser. You can find yourself just accepting things that you don't deserve to accept energetically, emotionally, mentally, because people feel like they can overstep those things. So I don't know about you. Me, I will not be turning the other cheek. I don't know about you or me, I will not be being the bigger person. And not to say that I'm never going to be the bigger person and I'm always going to, but the idea of, like, oh, just be the bigger person and walk away, and I'm going to walk away. But I don't be talking about. I'll let you know. We won't be doing that again. And like I said, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. You can say anything to anybody as long as it's executed properly. So sit on that. Sit with that, right? Even if you deflect the energy by asking a question, what do you mean by that? Now they have to sit. Now the energy is back on them. Now, like, they tried to project it onto you, and it was like you threw a wall, and now it's like all coming back to them, and now they're sitting there with the projected negative energy and on their face. Now they got cake, egg, whatever it is on their face. because they tried to put it on you. And you decided to shift that energy. So you don't even have to be constantly like, you disrespected me and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't have to do any of that. It could be a simple question. What did you mean? Why would you say that? What makes you feel comfortable to ask me that? Oh, they didn't say anything? That's because they didn't have anything to say. That's because they expected to project that energy upon you and for you to take it and sit with it. And they have some level of release or relief from the negative energies and entities that be on their back all the time. And that's not for you to carry. That's not your burden. That's not your energy. That's not your place. So, whatever way it is that you find that works with you, okay, set up those lines of defenses, set up those boundaries, right? Have those questions ready. What did you mean by that? Why would you say that? Can you explain that further? Mm. Oh, no, you can't. Okay, and that's all you got to say. And then you walk away. And then you walk away, right? But now you put up that block and you're not internalizing somebody else's negative, trash ass, ugly ass, dense ass energy because you don't deserve to. It's not for you. Don't carry other people's shit. And when they try to lighten their load on you, let them know you're not the one to lighten your load on. Unless they have asked if you're holding space, you got time today for me to unload how I feel. And then in that, they're not projecting their shit onto you. They're literally just asking for a moment. But it's up to you to discern. Do you got that time? You got that energy? You got that space? No. Back it up, back it up. No, you can't get in for the free. That's all I'm saying. Time and energy are our biggest currencies, most valuable currencies, and no, they ain't free. So tell somebody to get in with it. You know what I'm saying? That's for the message. If you like this video, share it with somebody you love. If you need anything from me, it's in the description box below. And until next time, stay fine.